So who's the imposter?
I don't know.
Still asking.
Not sure, I don't even know who am I.
How can we say that someone is just an impostor?
Depending on their purpose.
Well, what is our purpose anyway?
Well, you know what? Individuals tend to ask these questions. Wherein we doubt ourselves, our greater purpose in life, and we ask why do we exist in the first place. In prominent terms, we call it existential crisis.
Philosophy acknowledges that this quest has transcended from our personal journey of becoming to our search for ultimate truth and dedicates a specific branch that delved into the intricacies of these questions.
Let's take a look at the Hegelian's dialectics and its insight about man.
Oh, I'm quite familiar with that. Hegel's dialectic is about unifying opposite ideas, thesis, antithesis to come up with a synthesis, right? What's the connection between existentialism and Hegelian dialectics?
Good question. I've read Hegel's dialectic is what motivates some of the existentialist philosophers. He aims to unify, as you said, two opposing concepts, and he believes that we are always undergoing constant change while pursuing so many things in life, such as freedom, religion, love, etc., and those things always have two opposing ideas that are inherent.
Another thing, while Hegel is searching the meaning of life, he stumbles upon the idea that history should have a meaning, as well as asking questions about the existence of God and what enables us to move forward to the future.
He defines history then as the progress of consciousness of freedom. Through this, he concludes that the political and social systems were built to produce freedom for the people and society. He concludes that through this, we evolve and grow together as time passes by.
So for Hegel, history in individuals are progressing dialectically through theses, antitheses, and syntheses. So thesis is a way of doing something. It is a technique or a mentality, wherein antithesis is the opposing ideas of this thesis. So in order to come up with a synthesis, this is wherein the thesis subsume the antithesis. And in doing this dialectic process continuously, this is where we can achieve the best ways of doing something, according to Hegel.
That's true. Also, Hegel does not believe that there's a determined future in the essence of man, but he does believe that everything has its potentiality. This potentiality can be achieved throughout its negations and the process that it may encounter. Once it finally achieves this potentiality, it finally manages to reach its actualization from its past.
But why are we always undergoing this dialectical process?
It's because, according to Hegel, every situation contains an opposing element within itself that causes the conflict. And because this conflict cannot continue, we then try to negotiate the idea that causes the progression of our thoughts, and the process continues.
I see, since we're talking about Hegel now, I remember one famous philosopher as well, Karl Marx. If I'm not mistaken, he was greatly influenced by him and he wrote a paper about his reaction to Hegel's dialectic.
Marxism was highly influenced by Hegel. Its concept is somehow rooted in the same ideas. He also believes that we are progressing historically through a dialectical change to come up with a peaceful society. However, Marx believes that humans are motivated by material things and economic circumstances, and all of our ideas are motivated and flowing in an economic structure of the society, so the synthesis he came up with to solve the thesis and antithesis is communism.
But quick question: what do we mean by man treated as an object and man treated as subject?
Man as an object is the idea that can exist outside the mind that is knowable in a certain way, while a man as a subject is the beings with consciousness and can experience phenomena within.
A simple example is, right now we are discussing Hegel and Marx's works. So they are the object because it's their philosophy we're talking about. On the other hand, we are the subject because we are trying to interpret their works.
The main takeaway in this discussion of dialectic is that we should apply it into our lives. Our future may not be determined, but we do have potentiality, and that is something that we should strive for. We must enforce upon ourselves the actualization of our potentials. As of the moment, we're not yet sure who we are or what is our purpose, but no matter the negations we may face, we are subjects and objects of life, and no matter what our objectives may be, we will aim to push through. As of the moment, we're not yet sure who is the imposter yet of the game. But what we are sure of is that we'll know it soon.
Stop